By the way, something to note about these view bots. YouTube is very wise to view bots. So this idiot who keeps doing this every day is not doing anything negative to the channel. The views don't count. Because I've been checking. Oh my god, just look at that. Now I look normal. Now I'm pink. Now I'm normal. Anyway, yeah, the viewbot views don't count. So, for example, the past couple of days that this guy has come in and viewbotted some of my streams, he's only done like half of them, if that. The views look sky high. I mean, on one stream, it looked like I had 4,000 viewers at one point, okay? But they don't count, because when you look at the stats of the stream after the fact, it just gives you the real views. So even though the stupidity of these view bots makes it look like we have artificially inflated numbers, they don't count for anything on YouTube, which is good. They shouldn't. I don't want them to artificially inflate my channel. They're not real. So, you know, here's hoping that, you know, we're in a situation where it won't be regular. If I do notice that it just keeps happening, like I said, I will contact YouTube about it, but there's not like I could do anything about it anyway. No, George, there's no way there's 1K viewers. How would they have known that I was going to start? I actually started early. How would they have known that I was about to start the stream when I started like 5 minutes earlier than usual? It's bullshit. This is not legit. There's no way that there's 1,000 people here legit. It's a bunch of bots, okay? All right, here's the deal. You guys can see there is a troll with probably 100 bots. That's probably going to be saying the same thing over and over. So I'm just going to have to ban them when I can. Ban. Dan, I'm going to see if I can get any moderators. Hello, everyone out there. My name is Phil Burnell, but I'm greater known. Oh, an unexpected error occurred. I'm ready to game, bro. Who's ready? Come on, who's ready? While recording. An unexpected error occurred while recording. What the... What were the chances that was about to happen? Right? What the frick? All right, let's try again. Here we go. Hello, everyone out there. My name is Phil Burnell. Welcome, my friends. I'm a loser. All right, hello and welcome, everybody. That's right, ladies and gents. I'm a loser. But I'm greater known to the major part of the internet as Darkside Phil, or you may know me from my YouTube channel, DSP Gaming, which has been in operation since April of 2010. And for the past 12 years on that channel, or 14 years in general on YouTube, I've been an internet content creator that has made gameplay, mostly raw, unedited gameplay with live commentary over it. But over the years, I've made a wide variety of other content, including game reviews, podcasts, and other things. I am infamous. And what I mean by that is, even though there's a lot of people who like my content and they watch it at face value for what it is, there's probably equal or more people on the internet who watch my content for negative purposes. You could call them almost like hate watchers. All right? For some reason, I've had a very unique situation where over the years, people have found a way to tether themselves onto me in a very negative and toxic fashion. When I first started as a content creator 14 years ago, the internet was a very different place. You basically could say or do whatever the heck you wanted with no repercussions, and no one really was ever offended at anything you said or did. And so the person who I was many years ago was very rude, crude, constantly doing very irreverent, over-the-top commentary purposefully to try to get a rise out of my viewership. The more ridiculous thing I said, the more attention I would get. And this mentality earned me one of the top spots as a video game commentator on YouTube back in the day. I was known as one of the top Let's Players, even though I always called them video game playthroughs. And so, infamously through the years, you know, being partnered with Machinima back in the day when they existed, I made a living doing this for quite some time, just doing this kind of improv-style commentary over videos. However, very famously, back in around, I would say maybe 2010, 2011, I started to get a backlash from my viewer base. Basically, people had had enough of that style of commentary. They felt that perhaps I needed to evolve and change, and that maybe some of the things I was saying and doing in my videos was pretty irresponsible. In particular, the quality of the gameplay that I was putting out maybe was not worthy of the amount of views, attention, and quite frankly, money that I was getting as a result. And so a negative movement started against me called "This Is How You Don't Play." Now, this has been well documented. There's been hundreds upon hundreds of videos that have gotten millions of views over the years making fun of me as a video game content creator, rightfully pointing out my flaws, my shortcomings, the things that I was doing wrong, even though a lot of the time that was kind of the joke of the content that I was putting out and the reason why people actually watched said content. These videos highlighted that content in a very negative, one-sided light, essentially making me out to be a buffoon, which in some cases was very accurate. These videos grew in such viral popularity over the course of about a 5-year period that they basically eclipsed anything that I was doing on the internet. People had a lot more fun laughing at me than laughing with me. Now, for the record, I have gone down memory lane this year. I have become a lot more self-aware. I have decided to do a lot of React-style events where I actually directly responded to the criticisms and the things that people have said about me in the past, about how my commentary was so bad and over the top, how basically, those "This Is How You Don't" plays were pretty accurate criticisms of me and my work at that time, and how basically it led to my decline as an internet content creator. You probably know Darkside Phil as, that guy who's a terrible player on the internet and everyone hates. And this is the origins of where it came from. But I feel that I have changed over the years. I've actively tried to make myself a better person, to change my content to not be anything like what it used to be. And if you were to watch a live gaming stream of mine today in 2022 and compare that with the kind of content that I was doing a decade or more ago, I think you would find a distinct change, improvement, and contrast, because I don't want to be that guy anymore. In 2017, YouTube had an adpocalypse, meaning everyone who was trying to make a living on YouTube based on ad revenue essentially couldn't do it anymore when they lost a lot of their major advertisers. At that point, I changed who I was as a content creator, and I became an interactive streamer. For the last 5.5 years, this has been my focus. And people now who attend my content say, man, it is very different. It's interactive, it's fun, it's meaningful. We feel like we're getting something out of your content that previously you didn't have back in the day. Back in the day, it was about cheap jokes, risque commentary. Today, it's more about actually reviewing a game fairly, meaningfully playing through it and giving a fair and balanced review, actually having meaningful conversations with my audience. And for the most part, it does feel like it's very different when I do content today. And I've said this many times to my audience that I feel like my content today is way more meaningful than it ever was previously. Okay? So why am I telling you all this right now? And what is the purpose of this video? Here's the thing. At one point, I was infamous on the internet for "This Is How You Don't" plays. Fair enough. Then I became infamous on the internet in 2016 for accidentally beating off on camera. Now, luckily, nothing was shown. There was absolutely nothing exposed to the internet. It was just me doing my O-face. I went viral for it. I very rightfully went viral for it because it was insanely stupid, embarrassing, and it was a low time of my life where I was actually quite depressed, and it was a really stupid thing that happened. I have recovered from that. I'm not affected by it anymore. People make the joke. I'm like, whatever. Here I am 6 years later. I'm still able to make content. I still have a viewer base that cares about what I do. We've all moved on from that. But again, when something like that happens, guess what? You got to live it down forever. And I don't think I ever will live that down. It's always going to be a stigma that's attached to me. Okay? But now to the subject matter of what this video is really about. What I have found is that in the last several years, there has been a major shift of attention and a major shift of attitude towards me. While some people are willing to see that I have changed as a content creator and a person, and are willing to actually check out my content at face value and give it a shot. And I've actually had so many people over the last several years who say, hey, I used to be a major critic. I used to be a major person who hated on you on the internet. But now that I've actually given you a shot and I realize how different you are, that you have matured and grown and changed over the years, and that your content is very different, I actually will give it a shot and watch some of it, and some people actually become fans, which I very much appreciate. But here's the difference between all of those things from my past and what I've noticed in the last few years. Excuse me. Now, the major focus of the negativity towards me on the internet seems to be absolutely nothing to do with my content. Okay? People have taken it upon themselves, because apparently there's just not that much dramatic stuff going on my streams or my content anymore, to try to intrude upon my personal life. And in the last few years, I've been down on my luck in a lot of different ways. Okay? Bad financial decisions over the 14-year course that I've been a content creator forced me to take some actions to protect myself and my family and my future. You know, notably a few years ago, I declared bankruptcy, and I had to. There was no way that I was ever going to get out of the financial problems that I was in unless I did so. And when that happened, a lot of information went public, because bankruptcy is a public thing, records get posted, etc. And ever since that happened, people took it upon themselves to try to intrude into my private life. You guys have no idea how bad this has gotten. People trying to impersonate me all over the internet, committing identity theft and fraud, people trying to slander me in ways that I never fathomed just because they have a little bit of information. The way I like to put it is this. People take a little nugget of truth, and then they basically post on so much bullshit, so much conspiracy, so much negative twist and toxicity, that it then becomes a giant ball of crap. There is a little nugget of truth in the middle of it, but so many people on the internet have found it a memeable thing to just hate on Phil Burnell or Darkside Phil, that they don't care if only that nugget is true or the giant ball of crap is true. To them, as long as they can say something negative about me, they're in on the joke. And what's happened is, in the last few years, you have such an insanely large amount of people saying negative things about me on the internet that are not factually true, but possibly based on a tiny nugget of truth, that there are now a large group of people out there who just believe the bullshit. This has been incredibly hard for me, because I'm trying to maintain a business. I'm trying to maintain a positive atmosphere for the people who do like my content and don't care about this stuff that should very well be left behind the scenes and has nothing to do with anything that I put out on the internet. But yet, every day I get told, did you hear that this person said this about you? Did you hear that this person made a video about you? And now the real reason that I'm making this video today is because in recent weeks and or months, in particular for some reason this year of 2022, there have been major YouTubers as well as journalistic sites that seem to have covered slanderous and defamatory material about me as fact. I'm here to tell you, not only is all of the things that they say about me mostly wrong, okay? No one once has ever reached out to me and said, hey, Phil, can we get your side of the story? Can we get a rebuttal to the negativity that people say about you on the internet? No one. These people would rather roll with the memes, get clickbait views and popularity and attention for themselves on the internet, and they think that they are just immune to any kind of repercussions for it. Now, for the most part, they're right, because I'm just one guy. I don't own a giant team of businesses. I don't make a lot of money where I can lawyer up and try to protect myself against all of this really negative, toxic stuff said about me on the internet. In fact, there's so many people saying this about me at once, I would have to have a team of lawyers suing everyone at once. It would be insane. It would never work, okay? For the most part, I keep my mouth shut. I just stay here in my lane on my channel, DSP Gaming, and I just make content for myself. And then people watch it and enjoy it. And it's just made for, I like to call it a curated fan base. This is content very much for people who want to see the style of content that I make and for no one else. I have no aspirations to grow humongous. I have no aspirations to be rich and famous. I just like doing what I do because it was my hobby before it ever was my job. And that's all I ever wanted to do, is be able to love what I do for a living. And I do. But when daily, at this point, there's another major YouTube channel coming out and putting me into one of their toxic countdowns of negative YouTubers and things like that. And when I see what they say, all right, it's one thing if they're saying, oh, This is how you don't play. You're right. That's well-documented fact. That happened. It's public. There you have it. Oh, his accident, his embarrassing moment from 2016. Fair enough. That is absolutely positively true. It's on the internet. It happened. I fessed up to it. But then when you start to get into this stuff from the last few years, it's bullshit. And I don't really know how to defend myself against it because I'm not rich. Maybe if I was, like I said, I could lawyer up and I could have defense against it. But I'm just not. And so what's happened is I've struggled to maintain a business and a livelihood on the internet while I have a large group of people crapping on me on a daily basis and essentially just getting away with saying whatever they want without ever corroborating any evidence whatsoever of what they're saying, which technically is illegal. You have to corroborate statements that you make on the internet, because if you don't, it could be considered slander, defamation, however you want to spin it. And yeah, you should be legally held accountable when you are passing something by as a fact without actually vetting it. Okay? There's been people who've gotten into a lot of trouble on the internet for doing these kind of things. All right? So, you might be saying, what is he talking about? What is he going to lawyer up or something? No, I just said I can't. But here's what I want to propose. Okay? Something I have literally never proposed before. And I think that maybe it's time. Okay? I am willing to do a transparent interview with someone. All right? If there is legitimately someone out there who actually wants to ask me questions about this bullshit that has been said about me over the last several years, I will talk to them. Okay? And I will give you my side of the story. Now, the thing is, I've spoken to lawyers, and I know what I should and shouldn't be talking about. I was actually advised during the bankruptcy proceeding, do not give any kind of personal information out because it could affect the proceeding. So I know exactly legally what I can and cannot say. Last year, I was a victim of identity theft as a result of these toxic people messing with me. And yes, I talked to a lawyer, and I was told this is what you can and cannot say. And the truth is, for the most part, I have defended myself very logically and reasonably here on DSP Gaming. The problem is, it's only for my audience. The funny part is, all these things that I've said and done to defend myself have never been publicly broadcast anywhere else. It's as if I never said them, because I only said them here and no one else actually got that information, right? So people just constantly regurgitate the same negative, slanderous memes, the same nasty things about me that are not true, but no one ever asks me, what's the truth of the matter? What's really going on? All right? So, what I am proposing to everyone on the internet right now, if you want to make fun of me, fine. Why don't you talk to me and actually ask the man in the situation what's really going on? Okay? I feel like maybe there would be people out there who'd be interested in this. All right? The true story. Even if you believe it or not. But no one ever has. No one comes out to me and says, Phil, will you tell us what's really going on? Can you answer this or this or this? Okay? Now, please understand there'll be limitations. I'm not going to be talking about things that are very personal to my family members or my wife. It's got to be things about me. Okay? But for the most part, I want to set the record straight on this stuff publicly. Whether or not people believe it is their own prerogative. But at least it would be on public record that I'm telling you what really is going on in these situations that people are, for the most part, fabricating about me. I really don't think it's fair that all the negative memes and the slander gets a voice box, a soapbox, that all these big YouTubers are making videos about me constantly and putting me into their negative countdowns or whatever, and I literally don't get a chance to respond because I don't have the view count, I don't have the exposure that these guys have, all right? So, as of right now, I'm publicly announcing I want to talk to someone publicly about this, all right? Now, here's how it's going to work. I'm sure what's going to end up happening is I'm going to have people contacting me about this, and it's not just going to be one or two people, it'll probably be a few. I don't want to just jump on the first opportunity. I want to vet the people who maybe are willing to do this because I want to make sure I'm doing it in the right way with the right person, someone who's going to give me a fair shake. And I'm not saying someone who's going to toss me softball questions. Absolutely not. But I want to do it with someone who's going to actually not be completely so dismissive of anything that I'm going to say, and also a situation where this isn't just a shooting gallery for people who already hate me. You understand? I want this to be an opportunity where I can at least give my side in a fair way. And again, it'll be your prerogative to judge whether or not you believe me or not, and that's fine. But at least I'll have my side out there, as opposed to now where I talk about stuff on my streams and no one ever cares or hears about it besides my fan base who are already on my side. So what's the point, right? So here's what's going to happen. If you have the ability to, and you want to reach out to me to have me on your show or have an interview with me, you could DM me on Twitter at TheyCallMeDSP. I know some people have the ability to do that and some people don't. I really don't understand how that's possible, because some people just send me DMs and some don't. Or you could email me, darksidephil@hotmail.com. It's a public email address I've had for many years. It is my business email address where you can contact me, all right? Now, I just want to say something and make it very clear. This is not about money or me trying to make the bag. It has nothing to do with that. This is about me clearing the air about all the nonsense that's been said about me in so many words in the last few years, and basically everyone dogpiling on me very, very unfairly, okay? I need to be able to defend myself. There's been situations over the years where outright defamation and slander against me has been disproven. In this case, after that happened, everyone else just decided to create more, and then it's like, well, there's so much out there, what are you supposed to do, right? Now, also, I want to make this clear. I'm heading into the busiest time of the year for me and my business. There's a bunch of video games coming out that I have to cover, and they're all high profile, all right? So I'm definitely not saying I'm going to be doing this immediately. In fact, like I said, what I like to do is kind of take my time and vet my options, see what offers are made to me of who wants to do what, and once I get offers, then I can judge for myself what's the best one. I'm not even saying I'm going to accept one. I'm just saying I want someone to give me a fair chance, because all that's happening right now is everyone's taking pot shots at me constantly, and I have absolutely no defense against it, and that's just not fair. If you're going to make fun of me, if you're going to say negative things about me, at the very least, give me a chance to defend myself, and I just have never had that, okay? So, thank you for watching this video. The opportunity is now open. Reach out to me. DM me on Twitter or email me. Let's start discussions. Let's see what happens. I'm not going to be publicly talking about this regularly, only because I don't think that really benefits anyone. If and when I've gotten a determination on what I want to do, I will then make that public to my viewers and everyone else, and we'll go from there. But I'm not saying that that's even going to happen, because, quite frankly, the way that the internet has treated me over the last 5+ years has been so bad that I don't even know if anyone's going to give me a fair shake. We got to see what happens. Okay? Thank you all for listening, and I look forward to hearing from someone, hopefully shortly. Thanks very much, and let's see what happens. Thanks. Okay? And that's that. Segment's over.